Fish and Chum!
Hi everybody, Old Gare here with my great friend Tuffy. Tuffy's doing good, 16, October 5th he's going to be 17 years old. He still loves to go fishing. He's a tough old boy. Hey, we're out the old fishing shack here, and we've got a pretty good report for you today. My gosh, we've got a good report out at Table Rock. We were out there yesterday and did pretty darn good. We've got a report on Taneycomo. They're releasing more water in the morning hours. Now, this is a plus because we haven't had no morning water for quite some time at Taneycomo. Bull Shoals, good topwater action. Looks like the place to be this weekend for topwater fishing. Stockton, I've had more reports on Stockton the last few days. Some limits being caught out there of walleye. We'll be talking about this. Truman, my golly, they're catching big bluecat. They're catching crappie. They're catching walleye. They're catching hybrids. So we've got a lot to talk about on today's program. Let's get with it, Tuffy. Well, we were out at Table Rock yesterday. Boy, we had fun. Fishing with my old buddy Catfish Rick Ellis and, of course, my great buddy Brandon. And we all caught some nice bass. Boy, we had a ball. And like I've said the last couple weeks on the program, the fish are not so much on the long gravel points, the long gravel runs that they have been. They're more on the flats and the humps. We were hump fishing yesterday at Table Rock. Look at this picture my buddy Brandon caught. Nice going, Brandon. I tell you what, they've been doing some drop shot fishing out there, spoon fishing. But my buddy, he listens to our program. He's my wonderful editor. He went to the salt and pepper grub. He said, I've been listening to you. I want to use that grub. And I think his second cast, he caught that particular fish. And so don't overlook that grub fishing. I love the grub on Table Rock. Either the salt and pepper or the smoke. Try that. Okay, now... the topwater fishing has been real slow the last couple of weeks, especially this last week. And you can get up early in the morning, you'll see a little surfacing activity, but they just don't want to hit that topwater bait once in a while. Now, it may be different this weekend due to the fact that we have overcast coming in. That's really going to help. That may be a big plus for the weekend, so don't overlook the topwater fishing. But if they're just up there swiping at it, they don't want to hit that bait, be sure to have a grub tied on, or be sure to have a spoon, something that if they don't want that topwater bait, pitch that thing out, count it down, and burn it back in. In fact, Brandon, on that nice fish you just seen, on that photo, he was burning that grub and caught that fish. So, boy, try that for the upcoming weekend. All right, buddy. Other than that, the humps, the flats, look for bait activity. That's going to be the big secret at Table Rock this weekend. Use your electronics. And, getting back to the drop shot, it seems like an earth-colored worm, a nightcrawler-colored worm is going to be your best bet. Plum, by the way, is working well as well. And we've had some Carolina fishing taking place. Carolina rigs are paying off at Table Rock as well. And the Ned rig, oh, you bet, when you're out there and you see some fish, they don't want to cooperate, everything else is tough, go to the Ned rig. That could save the day for you. Some good Ned rig fish being caught at Table Rock right now. Now up to James, the last couple of weeks we've reported on it. If you want to catch some bigger fish, go up to James. Use a 10-inch plastic worm. I love that plum 10-inch plastic worm. Pitch it out in the brush piles, swim it back, drop it down the edge of the trees. Boy, work at Texas rig. You're going to catch some fish by doing this. Football jigs are working around some of the shaded docks, off some of the gravel runs. Check this out. And walleye fishing has been fair at Table Rock this week. They've been picking up some fish on occasion by trolling some deep diving bait, something that will get down around 15, 18, 20 feet of water. Might have to put a little bit of weight on it. Not a lot of fish being caught, but there are some walleye being caught. So Table Rock looks good for the upcoming weekend. Let's go to Taneycomo. Things have changed out there a little bit from the last few weeks. They're actually running some water this last week in the morning hours. We haven't had that, so morning fishing's been a little bit tough. And so they're cranking up about a 1.5, 2 units in the morning, nice little old flow. And then in the afternoon, early afternoon, late morning, they're cranking it up to 4 units. And then you got a real big drift. But I like that early morning, a couple units, a unit and a half. You can use a variety of bait. Power eggs are working. Best colors have been pink, orange, or white. And they've been picking up some fish with little Cleo spoons. It seems like the Cleo spoons with a blue stripe down it, that's paying off. And I tell you, don't overlook that small jig. 32nd ounce brown or olive green. Pitch that out on the edge of the current. Let it go down. Ooh, you can catch some bigger fish by doing this. Some people have been using jerk baits picking up fish and trolling crankbaits. So Taneycomo looks good for the upcoming weekend. Now, I've got allergies, so forgive me. I don't have a hangover. I don't drink much anymore, but I do have allergies. So, had to throw that in. Okay, let's go to Bull Shoals. Now, if I had one lake to go to this upcoming weekend, for topwater fishing, it definitely would be Bull Shoals. Early morning action, late evening action. They're picking up fish on a variety of topwater baits. A popar, if they want something a little subtle. Ooh, I love the popar. They're picking up fish on spooks, junior spooks, whopper ploppers. And so if you want a good topwater bite, get out to Bull Shoals this weekend. That would be my top choice. Other than that, go out and do some drop shot fishing, Ned rig fishing at Bull Shoals, bluff ends, off the points, anywhere from 15 to 25, 30 feet of water. And there's nice fish being caught. The ones they're catching at Bull Shoals are really pretty hefty fish. So Bull Shoals looks good for the upcoming weekend. Get out there and get bit. Walleye fishing, you bet there's been some nice walleye fishing. Seems like that Oakland area is good right now. Get up in that Oakland area, use your night crawlers, your methods out there. Get down there and pick up some nice walleye in anywhere from 18 to 25 feet of water. Edge of the flats, edge of the points. Could be good for the upcoming weekend. Few crappie have been caught around some of the brush piles. Had a buddy out the other day, picked up several nice crappie on the edge of a dock in the shaded area in a sunken brush pile. Look those sunken brush piles out for crappie for Truman. Let's go out to Stockton Lake. I'm talking fast because I got a lot to talk about. Stockton Lake's been really good this last week for walleye. Man, there's been several limits of walleye being caught on the flats, 18, 25, 30 feet of water off some of the points, but flats have been real good. Out at Stockton, I want to say hats off to my new fishing chum buddy, Aaron David. I met Aaron a couple of weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, out on Table Rock and had a nice visit with him. He's a new Fishing Chum member. Thank you, buddy. And he's been going out to Stockton and getting limits. In fact, look at this nice walleye he caught the other day. Oh, boy, off the flats, 15 to 25 feet of water. And night crawlers, get out there and try Stockton this weekend. With this overcast weather, I think it could be some good walleye action out at Stockton. Try that. Crappie are being caught back over some of the brush piles, a little bit shallower than what they have been. They're coming up a little bit. Try 15 to 20 feet of water. And minnows have been good. It seems like a pink jig head tipped with a minnow has been doing good out at Stockton. Some nice crappie being caught. And around some of the bridge pillars, I've heard that as well. Okay, by the way, if you want to go catfishing, channel catfishing, Stockton looks good. Been catching some nice fish out there, they say, on night crawlers. Let's go out at Truman Lake. My golly, there's been some nice fish caught at Truman this last week. This last few days, some big blue cats. In fact, look at this nice fish. Curtis Owen, look at this big old blue cat. Boy, he caught this on a perch. And it seems like the bigger blues have been caught on perch. So if you just want to go out and catch some little perch on small hooks and a little bit of a worm, that will work. Perch traps will work. But perch are working good for the big blue cats out at Truman. Nice walleye are being caught out there. Look at Michael Bear. He was up in the Berry Bend area the other day and picked up some nice walleye. Look at this nice fish. Yes, Truman continues to produce some good walleye fishing on the edge of the flats of points, and up in the KK area I've had some pretty good reports as well. And so night crawlers, nice walleye, some spoon fishing as well for walleye. Boy, Truman's been excellent for walleye this year without a doubt. Okay, other than that, the crappie fishing at Truman are catching some nice crappie. They're a little bit shallower. We touched on this last week. They're getting shallower. Don't overlook shallow water fishing at Truman. It's one of the best crappie lakes in the country for shallow water fishing in the summer. Tree rows, anywhere, look for 8 to 12 to 15 feet of water. Minnow seems to be working a little bit better. Cedar trees, get on the flats, find your brush. hey, I know you can catch some crappie out at Truman for the upcoming weekend. Lake the Ozarks, same story. They're on the summer pattern. The shaded docks have been paying off for crappie. The drop-off's 15 to 20 feet of water around the brush. And over at Norfolk Lake, hey, I've had some pretty good reports of walleye being caught at Norfolk on night crawlers, anywhere on the edge of the flats, and 15 to 20, 25 feet of water. And some of the boys, of course, have been using spoons out there, catching limits of walleye as well. Norfolk looks good for the upcoming weekend. Speaking of Norfolk, down in Arkansas, I want to have this shout out to Jim Nottingham. He was out just the other day fishing outside Gaston's. Look at this beautiful brown trout he caught. Beautiful fish. Great smile there, Jim. You deserve it. Nice, nice fish. And the last photo of the day is the kids' photo of the day. And this comes from Danny Morgan. Look at this young man, his son. Look at this nice fish. Look at this smile. Look at that thumbs up. Good going, guys. Gosh, I love those kids' photos. Well, that's about our show for the day. Hey, we're going to be blessed with good weather for the next few days. Get out and get with it, because we're going to have some overcast, maybe a little shower or two. That's good. And fishing ought to be really good this weekend. Be sure to like and share. Tell your buddies about our show. And, of course, subscribe. Just push that subscription button. It's free and won't cost you anything. And if you have any photos, we've been getting photos. We've been getting a lot of good information. Well, go to our email us at fishandchums@gmail.com. Okay, kids, get out and get with it. Take advantage of this summer weather. It's going to be a good weekend. Happy outdoors, everyone.